The Football Federation of Belize is looking to expand its facility at the F.F.B headquarters in Belmopan with the purchase of 19 acres of land. At a value of $900,000, Earl Jones, the General Secretary of F.F.B, explained that the purchase was being covered by the F.F.B Forward Fund.
We approached FIFA for the use of the funds, and conditional upon the development, upon the money that would be expended on the projects, FIFA required that we look into ownership of property or some long-term lease that will guarantee the investment. When we looked into the situation at F.F.B, we were on the perception that we had two parcels of land here on the lease. But to our surprise, after discussing it with the RECONDEV, we found out that one is under a proper lease, the other one for 99 years, the other was never formally documented at the Lands Department.
Through the FIFA Forward Fund, F.F.B recently completed the construction of a synthetic pitch and renovation of its bleachers on 5 acres of leased land that sits along the Hummingbird Highway. F.F.B also claims 2 additional parcels amounting to 19 acres, which is situated at the rear of those 5 acres. But the executive recently discovered that the Federation did not have the proper land documents for all 19 acres, a requirement by FIFA to access the necessary funds for further development of those lands.
We realized that we did not have the back portion of the land under any proper documented lease, and that is when FIFA said, well, you need to have proper title for the land in order to continue the investment. We cannot continue investing in a property which is not secured, and the discussion started with the RECONDEV, the Reconstruction and Development Corporation.
F.F.B's executive approached the Reconstruction and Development Corporation, which is responsible for land management in the capital city. In their discussion, RECONDEV agreed to a purchase price of $900,000 for 19 acres of land, or roughly $47,400 per acre. It is a win for F.F.B, but a competing interest for Belmopan residents seeking land, as Brian Mira, the chairman of the board of directors at RECONDEV, readily admitted.
It has been a little while since we started the conversations. It's a decision that was not taken lightly. We got together with the Minister of Sports, with the Minister, with the representative of Belmopan, because it's competing interests. Belmopan is in need of land for its citizens, but at the same time, there was a unique opportunity for F.F.B to own the land around the stadium, which puts them on a good footing for the future. We found out that they had gotten 2 leases. They actually lodged the first lease, which is the first portion, but the second lease, for some reason, was never executed, so that expired. We went ahead and had the conversations with them. I knew they were using a part. We never ever thought that we were just gonna sell it or give it away. We don't operate that way. But they also wanted to include the back portion, which is a larger portion. And of course, we had that conversation, and this is where we end up now. No? There are actually 3 parcels. The original parcel, they have a 99-year lease for that. This is where the stadium is. There's a second parcel behind it, immediately behind it, which they are already using a part of. That lease was never lodged at land, so that lease was expired and was no longer valid. And then there's a third portion which goes all the way to the Roaring Creek River, which is a larger piece, and which they have plans for in the future. And so we went ahead and did a transaction for the remaining parts that were not already lodged at lands.
Wouldn't there be, and I'm just asking, a need for some sort of a retroactive payment for the use of that land during that period when payments weren't being made?
I would love for F.F.B to pay us. I don't think we're gonna go down that route. I think it's just for the benefit of football. We just have to say, it was being put to good use. They already had a lease. They just didn't lodge it.
Today, F.F.B President Sergio Chuk handed over a check to RECONDEV. Now that the purchase of the land has been finalized, President Chook says FFB will engage Vivid Arch, an architectural and engineering firm based in Belize City, to develop a master plan for its envisioned FFB Center of Excellence.
When the master plan is completed within, I believe, the next 3-4 months, then we would have an idea of how long it would take, because then we would have an exact idea how much it will cost.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.